went all floppy. I've had to pick it back up. Lovely to see you all. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I've just seen a video of a guy in Tesco's not wearing a mask and he gets assaulted by a member of staff who wasn't wearing a mask. You can't work it out. Unbelievable. It looked like she'd been sparring with Lennox Lewis, this woman, the way she frisked this old boy up. Bent him like a pretzel, give him a bit of Sandra Bullock. Unbelievable. Hello, Tommy. All right, Gorge. Claire Tracy. Hello, darling. Right. There's a geezer floating around the internet. He's lovely, actually. He's on... I'm going to give him a little bit of history about who I am, really, because I'm a bit of a dinosaur. I'm quite old now. His website on YouTube, he's handsome. He's handsome. It's called For the Greater Good, all right? He's got 192 subscribers and he's getting big all the time. He's very eloquent. He tells it how it is. And he seems by Charles Ward and all this new king of whatever. I'm not even going to talk about the new king, Gregory Allett, whatever it is. Anyway, king, Jesus, what they've been up to over the years, I wouldn't advocate being part of any of that. But anyhow, it is what it is. So he just mentioned me, bless him, and he said, well, he said Dave's got 600 and something odd subscribers now. He said, in my opinion, deserves far more. So what I'm going to give you a little introduction into what happened with me and YouTube. All right, he's very kind. He's said some lovely words. He reckons I'm genuine, which I try and be. I do try and be genuine. I try. I'm just myself, really, to be honest. I love people. I love humanity. And I'm not talking gooey, sexual kind of love. I'm talking about just a respect and reverence for men and women, the spirit. You know, that's what we're all part of. I'm someone that's read the good book from front to back many times and take a lot of what it is that I am from it. Funnily enough, I've just hello, Gorge, lovely to see you. I've just seen you. I've just watched your video, handsome monkey. Round at Crawley, yeah, it's not far from me, mate. I'm only about 22 miles from Crawley, I'd say. Not far away. So it's interesting. We're going to have a little chat about my journey, and who I've played with and who I haven't played with. Not in a Jimmy Savile kind of way, nothing like that. I mean, I'm a good soul. I could never hurt a soul. I could never hurt a kid or anything like that. I'm, as you would say, I'm from the light. I try and be from the light, you know. So I'd lost my train of thought there. So my journey started years ago, right? I've always worked with my hands, and I've never had any complaints. You know what I'm saying? And I got to a point. Oh, someone's ringing me. Hang on a sec. Let's have a chat. Oh, no, it's fine. It's rung off. Someone's called me and rung off. Can you believe that? So I want to give you a bit of a background of who I am, right? Because I started this YouTube channel years ago, but I've done nothing with it. I put up a couple of little videos about me having a dig with HM's Passports office. Hello, Durfy Gorgeous. How are you, mate? You all right? Lauren. Hello, Lauren. Now, Lauren, what I want to talk to you about, Lauren, is I lost a dog a few years ago. My boy, Rottweiler. I had 2 Rottweilers. My happiest time of my life with them 2 Herberts, let me tell you. And stereotypically, Rottweilers have been always shown to be very dangerous dogs, and they're not. They're actually very loving, and they're very intelligent, very, very switched on. So don't be perceived by what the system tells you that a certain thing is. And this is how we all get triggered. The papers and the news say Rottweilers are dangerous or on a dangerous dog list. Everybody then hates Rottweilers. But actually, life experience tells you when you get to know them and if they're a decent dog and they just come from a good vibe and they've never been shown all the nastinesses. I mean, they're very powerful, but let me tell you, you won't never ever find a friend than a Rottie. Well, Lauren, after I lost my dog, offered me one of his own. Can you believe that? Oh, Ian Poulter. He hit me right there. I'm telling you, I went, mate, as much as that is such a lovely offer, I could not take his animal from him, but he knew I was in pain. He knew that I was hurting, and he knew that I'd missed my boy, and he offered me, at the deepest of his cotton socks, he offered me one of his animals. And I was like, wow. So anyway, for many of you that know me, and there's quite a few in here that know me, I've been knocking around on this block for about 12 years. And I got to a point where I was fed up of taking orders from the system, these service corporations, ATMs, revenue, this, that, the other. And I then started to tell them what was what, right? I told them they work for me, right? And I weren't working for them, because everything in this world is for my benefit and your benefit. Okay, that's how the system should be. And they changed their tune and they started to leave me alone. And I had a real good few ding dongs and scraps, let me tell you. Sat in offices, they were throwing things at me. I'm just sat there laughing, laugh. Anyway, it led me on my journey. So I stumbled across a thing called Facebook. Now, whether you like Facebook or you don't like Facebook, I'm someone that's I speak my mind, you know. I don't hold back, because there's too many people now. Well, we can't talk about this. We can't talk about Black Lives Matter. And that's where all the problems start, because you can't debate things with normal adults that can casually and just calmly accept what you're saying or don't, and just switch off and turn away. We don't have a state. Everyone gets so triggered now. Oh, he said this. Oh, he said that. He's against the gays. He's a transphobe. He's this. He hates dogs. He hates cats. And before you know it, everyone's all shut down, yeah? So I started off on Facebook, and then they brought up a thing called sharing videos. So I started to pre-record videos and then share them. And then they come up with the pièce de résistance, the live feed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on the 22nd of this month, my Facebook profile goes live again with live feed. But guess what? I'm not going to use it. I'm done with Facebook. I'm done with it. But the point is this. When I started out, I built up quite a following. And it wasn't something that, it was just, it's like, don't take this the wrong way. I liken it to the vibration of the words that I use and the energy that I bring. People are either going to tune into it or they're not. It's up to them. It's their call. It's a bit like Jesus stood on the Sermon on the Mount. The people that wanted to go and listen and follow him went, and those that didn't just scorned him and called him a loser and paid no attention, right? That was their choice, free will. So that's all I do. I just vibrate, I speak, and I lend my energy. And if people want to follow and people want to listen, they can do. If they don't, that's fine. So I started on Facebook, and before I knew it, I had sort of 16,000 people on there, right? And I was hardcore Facebook. I'm giving you a little brief history. This is for my man, for the greater good, that says, like, I don't really know where he comes from. He should have more following on YouTube. Well, I've only been YouTubing on here for the last 4.5 months. 4 months, 4.5 months. And I had 100 followers, and now I've got 600. So I've gone up 500 in that amount of time. But I never did anything with my YouTube profile before that. Really, I never did. So Facebook shut me down. I was talking about a couple of individuals that were apparently on the far right of whatever, that were just standing up against kid grooming and violence and child rape and women rape and all that. And I thought, these are, you know, they're shouting a good message. So I shared a few things, and Facebook said, you violated our community standards. You know what I'm like, the old robots they've got on there. And I just wish everyone in Facebook, all the men and women there, plenty of love. So they shut me down. I then started up another one. I got that going, then they shut that down. I've still got a profile on Facebook with about 5,000-6,000 people, but to me, I've lost it with Facebook. I can't be doing it. They're suppressing. I thought I lived in a free country. I thought I lived in a world that was free, where we was able to express this, that, the other, right? Now, my stuff on here is not for children. I can have a little swear up now and again, but the words I use are defined in the English dictionary. And if people want to get snowflaked up and take offence, you know, I've pulled all the fences up in my garden just in case someone takes offence over something I say. So you can't do that around where I live. And luckily, I live in the country. I've got a nice big pad, and God's seen me straight. Everything's paid for. I'm very lucky. He blesses me every single day, right? Because I tune into that vibration of the universe, and it gives me what I want. And I just wish everyone else could have the same. I really do. And I want everybody else to have the same, because we're all equal. We're all the same. this hierarchical system that we have is disgraceful. Now, I've sent an email to the courts this morning saying to them, I found their email online, local court to me. I let them know that I wished to serve some documents. They messaged back and said, unless you've got a case going, we won't accept them. So I messaged them back. I said, listen, I'm a man. I'm David. I am sovereign. You will take notice, all of you men and women that work within your corporation, your service corporation, will take notice of what I send you. And they've messaged me back, said, thank you very much. We look forward to it, because I said, I, the man, require of you. Okay. To me, look, let's just switch this up a bit, right? So let's say I was in Boris Johnson's shoes, or anyone in that area, that works in that environment, the civil servants, the public servants. I would swear an oath to serve you, to make sure that no harm come to you, and to die for you, for your liberty, for your freedoms. I would. And I would swear it, and I would mean it. And no harm would come to any of you. Why do we live in this system where, well, I mean, it's just got so crazy now, you know, people attacking people in supermarkets because they won't put a mask on. It's just, it beggars belief of where humanity's head's at. I mean, who sung that song? Where's your head at? That's the sort of thing that it bothers me for. So my journey has been, I started playing with these service corporations, HMRC, the tax people, many years ago, because look, I looked at it as this, that with all the homelessness, with all the child deprivation, with all the rape and pillaging that goes on, and the way that the police just kick our doors in now and spare us no reverence, and just, it to me it's like Nazi Germany. So I thought, well, I've got to pull my energy. I can't file no tax returns no more. I have to deny the system a lifeline, and that is lawful rebellion. The lawful rebellion side for me is all about denying them a lifeline and taking back control for yourself in your own life and be king of your own domain. Because don't forget, Genesis 26 through 29 says, I created man in my image, and I give him dominion over the earth to inherit and subdue it and to do what his will was. So why are we all bowing down to these public servants? They should be bowing down to you. And that's what I do. I make them bow. I remind them of the relationship that they're on, and that I'm the man, I'm the sovereign, and the man's wish and will is everything. And I just said to him this morning, I wish this to be done. And they've just messaged back saying, just send us your stuff, please. Just send us your stuff. So it's how we intercourse with our public servants. I've played with Kent Police. I've lambasted them with so much stuff over the years, saying, look, can you take God's gift away from me? And that's why they run. Now, I'm not religious. I mean, I don't shag altar boys or, you know, do any of that nefarious stuff that most people in the church do. I'm not tarring everyone with the same brush, but we have the facts and the evidence that there's been a lot of child abuse within the church. We have got facts that nuns have been up to no good over the years. Those that are all holier than thou are not holier than thou. And we need to switch this up. And like, we have to do this together as a collective, but individually, you need to take back control and power of your own lives. Now, that's why I'm quite in with this Chris individual and Jesse from the Casanova show, because they're addressing the instance where the trespass took place. And we were trespassed on when we come into this world, right? And it was a constructive fraud. And it was an unlawful conversion. We've been converted into this capitalistic system, which works well for many. Hey, look at me. But for those that are being abused, the homeless that are being kicked in the streets, we've had homeless people in this country over the last year or two that have had petrol poured on them and set light and killed. Can't live in a country like that. My morals won't let me do that. We have to do something. And am I going to sit around and wait for a new King of England? Am I? Fuck. I don't want another King of England. I don't recognise a Queen of England, because I'm king of my own dominion. I've got dominion over the earth. And that's what the second coming's all about, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about you. Love your vibe, Dave. That's why I tune in and listen to your truth, Elaine. Yeah, so I back in 2013, I had a local court in Maidstone, HMCTS, that operates out of a postcode because they're fraudulent and traitors. They're traitors to this country. by the way. All these people that work in these service corporations are traitors to this realm. You do know that. And they will be recorded in history as traitors, let me tell you, because it will come. Judgment is coming for these people. So I rang them up and said, what do you mean? Who has to pay? They said, well, the Mr. So-and-so has to pay. I said, he's dead. And they said, well, how long has he been dead? I said, hasn't he always been? And the phone went quiet. Tell me that piece of paper is not dead. Tell me that piece of paper that you own and you control is not dead. Ayo, I'm the God-given individual here. Yeah? You're messing in my onions and gravy. Piss off. Excuse my French. Never heard another thing from them. Oh, we're going to arrest you. You're going straight to prison. I'm someone that's proud. I'm someone that's strong within, right? My soul is uber powerful. What if I was 80? What if I was little old Mrs. Smith, scared to death? Got a bailiff at my door. I just cave in. Now, one of my videos flying around YouTube was uploaded by a guy called Gary Kay. Now, Gary Kay's got over 1 million subscribers to his channel. And he phoned me up and said, Dave, I went, yeah. He went, I've seen your video with this bailiff. He said, it's fantastic. He said, can I share it on my channel? I said, mate, help yourself. Knock yourself out. So he robbed it from Facebook, put it on YouTube. Well, the irony of it is that the bailiff see the video. All right. Now, he went back round to try and harass this young man that he was harassing 3 months prior. So his mother phoned me up and she said, Dave, can you get onto this Ejaz, this bailiff again? I said, yeah, no worries. So I phoned Ejaz. I said, Ejaz? He went, oh, no, it's not you, is it? I went, it is. I said, how you been, love? I've missed you. And he went, oh. He said, I'm not happy with you. I said, oh, mate, why is that? Do you need a hug? Do you need some sort of what's the matter? And he said, my daughter's seen that video that you've done on YouTube. And she says to me, Daddy, why do you do bad things to people? I went, oh, Ejaz, if that just hits you through the heart like a bow out of Cupid's arrow, man, that's not my problem. I suggest to change the job. And he said, well, I'm going to sue you. I said, for what? He said, because you've uploaded it. I said, brother, go and find out who uploaded it. Yes, it's me. It's Little I. It's recorded in history forever and ever, providing the internet stays up. I said, if you want to pick a spoil with anyone, go and have a spoil with the geezer that uploaded it, all right? But he had my consent to upload it. I will say that. Anyway, never heard no more from him. And he never went back. Whether he changed his job or not, I don't know. The other one was a guy, a bailiff called Shane that was in Derbyshire that was hassling a woman and a young kid. Now, I had the bailiff on the phone whilst I had her on Messenger on the phone. So bear with me. She's telling me he's walking down the path and making noises at the door. And the kids, the little boys behind the counter going, Mummy, don't let this bad man in. What's going on? I'm crying. So this kid's inside the house, like scared, crackless. And I can't stand that because I'm a man of honour, a man of faith, right? So I rang this Shane up. I said, Shane, do yourself a favour, go home and leave this woman alone. I said, because I'll bring trouble to your door. He said, I don't even know you are. He said, you'd never find out nothing about me. I said, give me a couple of minutes. So I put a call out to all my people on Facebook, my army on Facebook. And I've got a Facebook group called The People's Army, by the way, which is growing all the time. It's fantastic. So within 5 minutes, I know this guy's name, where he lives, his kids, his dogs, he's out, where he... So I phoned him up. I said, Shane so-and-so. He said, yeah. I said, I've just been speaking. He went, yeah, I remember. He said, I said, you live at so-and-so, so-and-so. I said, you've got a so-and-so car. Your kid goes to this school. He went, whoa. He said, who are you? I said, I'm just a man, mate. So I'm looking out for my people and my country. He went, well, I only do this job to pay a mortgage. I said, brother, I know that you're all trapped in the system. I said, don't get me wrong. I understand what the beast is. He said, well, I'm not going to renew my license. He said, in a few months' time, he said, I'm coming out of this and going to do something different. I said, good for you. And he did. He come out of it and he phoned me up and he said, I'm no longer a bailiff. He said, I'm changing career. Now, the best one, the pièce de résistance for me was 2 years ago. Along my drive came a parcel force motor, right? A parcel force, you know, the big parcel force van. I think he was bringing the missus' new vibrator. I don't know. It's quite a big box. And it was red hot. And my best mate had turned up. We were going golf. I'm a bit of a golfer, right? Yeah, bit of a golfer. So he's got out of his van. It's red hot. And he's trundling about in the back of his van. I said, mate, it's red hot, isn't it? What a beautiful day. And he kept looking round at me. And I'm like, what is he doing? Is he fancying me? And when he got out of the van, my best mate stood by the side of me. And this guy, his name's Anthony Nuttall, Tony Nuttall. And he looked at me and he went, I know you. I went, I don't think you do, darling. He said, I've never met you. He said, no, I know you. He said, now I've just seen your name on that screen. He said, I know exactly who you are. I went, I'm thinking, fuck me, is he a terrorist? You're going to stick a knife in me? What's going on here? I've got the old nunchuckers out. He said, no. He said, Dave, I follow you all the time. He said, I watch every one of your videos. I went, oh, my God. He threw his arms around me and gave me a big hug. And my best mate stood there going, whoa. So I'm hugging him back, man. We're having a proper man hug because that's what I'm all about, right? I want to charge people with this energy, this vibration, this greatness. Anyway, he says to me, he said, I'm ex-army, Dave. He said, I come out of the army. He said, I was farmed out. He said, I went working for HM's Customs down at the docks at Dover or wherever it was. I said, oh, yeah. He says, and I watched your videos and my conscience told me that what I was doing was wrong. And I went, wow. And he went, so I left my job and I'm now working for Parcel Force. Mate, I got tears in my eyes, right? I said, are you happier? He went, man, he said, the best move I've ever made. He said, because I was violating people. He said, but I watched you and you touched me in here. And I'm like, wow, man, that's so powerful. That's so powerful. So we had another hug and off he went. And he said, I'll watch you later, Dave. He said, whenever you're going to load. I was like, wow. So he's on my Facebook, Tony Nuttall, Anthony Nuttall. Man, and my best mate went, you're a celebrity. I went, no, whoa, none of that. I listen, leave the egos at the doors. I said, I'm just a man. He's listened to my vibration. He likes what we're doing. And it's changed his life and affected his life. And he did something positive about it. And I imagine he's still working for Parcel Force now. And good luck to you, Tony Nuttall, if you're out there, bruv. Want to pop in for a cup of tea sometime, you pop in. What a testimony. I went to golf and I was like, oh my, I couldn't stop thinking about that interaction that I had just met this man. And he said to me, and this is the thing. It always says, be the light in the world. Be the change you want to see. And by me being the change I want to see in my life and in my world and in my universe, I've used that and spread that through all these social media outlets. And I've brought people with me. They've jumped on my vibration and they like it. They like this love, light, vibration. And isn't that what we're all here for? The beauty of it is that we're not supposed to be downtrodden. We're not supposed to be suppressed. We're not supposed to be tied into this capitalistic system. I walked through London a couple of years ago, come out of Charing Cross train station, and this homeless guy was laying in a doorway. People were walking past him, kicking. It broke my heart, man. It just broke me because I'm just thinking people revere him as like a dog fox, or you know how people look at certain things, go, he's not worthy. I'm just like, that's a sentient man there. What's gone so wrong that's made? And what's the Queen doing about it? What are the police doing about it? Fuck all. They hate us. They hate us. Mikey Reynolds. Hello, Gould's. Another soul. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, my man Mikey Reynolds only lives around the corner from me. Bonhomme Post Meridian. I've got no idea what that means, Flower. But Sugar Tits, you might want to let me in on that one. But for the grace of the universe, there we go all. So listen, the point I'm trying to make is, I walked through the fire, right? I've got all these letters saying you're going to prison. We're going to arrest you if we see you on the road. And I rang them up and told them to do one. I told them to jog on, that I wasn't their property, that I was a creation of God, and that this is my world. And they never come nowhere near me. Never come nowhere near me. 7 years ago. I think they're a bit late now, didn't you? Good afternoon. But I stood it alone. I didn't need a new king. I didn't need a queen. I didn't need someone in the council. Me. I stood up. I had a bailiff here a few months ago, rattling my gate. I walked out. I said, "Oi, Superman, what the fucking hell are you doing?" And he went, "Well, he said, I believe you're so." I said, R. Kelly thought he could fly. He believed he could fly. I said, but he couldn't. I said, I don't know you. I said, what's going on? He said, well, you got to do this, got to do that. I said, get off my land, stop trespassing, go and do one. I said, because if you break in, I'm going to hurt you. 3 of them. And the big one looked at me. I went, who are you fucking looking at? This is the energy I've got, you see. Can't be trespassed on. I'm not going to be. I didn't come into this world to just roll over, have the keys to my house taken out of my hand by this service corporation that thinks it owns everything. They think they own everything. The kids, us, the land, the cars, they own. It's disgusting. It's got to stop. Good afternoon. I was thinking more. What's bonum post meridian mean? Does it mean good afternoon? Oh, right. Okay. It means, is that Latinus? Latin. Hello, they've come for me. They're here. They're here. Here we go. I think they're here. Oh, no, it's a Dennis. I've got my security cameras on. I can see who's about. I'm like Meet the Fockers here. I'm like the dad. I've got security. I've got truth serum. I've got the lot. So this one today was it's what I've stood for over 10 years. I'm not going to be bowed over. I'm not going to roll over to anybody. The police, the service corporations, the councils. I had my mate go into a council office last year. He's a man in a good book. He knows his words. And he called a meeting and these council staff were there. And why can't we read Latin? You can read Latin, Diane. I can't. Never bothered with Latin at school because my German teacher at the time had big boobs and I quite fancied her. So I sat in that lesson. So anyway, I just lost my train of thought there. I can't roll over to these people. I just can't, because who are they in any way? You know, how dare they tell me how I can bring my kid up? How dare they tell me where I can live, what I can do, what I can't do? She had big ones, Jesus, I tell you. I never missed her lessons, let me tell you. Unbelievable woman she was, but that was back then. You know, like when you get a bit of infatuation on your teacher, didn't you? And you can't like let it go. I had a maths teacher called Mrs. Gaines. No, English teacher, Mrs. Gaines. Actually, she taught us how to read 1984. In 1984, that's how old I am. And I can remember she had a little Alfa Romeo sat outside, and I used to go out and just run my hand up the thingy because Miss Gaines' car. And I used to think her husband must be one lucky dude. Do you know what I'm saying? The girls have always fascinated me years, but I mean, I'm very happily settled down now, and I'm that older, maturer guy, and I love my missus. I can't imagine my life without her, to be fair. But she probably imagines it without me, in fairness. So look, that's me in a nutshell. I'm someone that got to a point I was like, I'm not having this. I didn't come into this world to be pushed around by these people to do and suck their dicks. Excuse my French, ladies and gentlemen. I come into the world to rewrite it with yous lot. That's what I did. I come into this world to change it with yous. Right? So my mate's got his council office and he's got his birth certificate or the birth certificate, and he put it down on the table and he's put his hand on top of it and he went, right, who's operating in this trust without authority? And they scattered. They run. That's all he did. They was coming at him for council tax, yeah? He put his birth certificate down, put his hand on it and said, who's operating in this trust without authority? And they never heard another thing. So I mix with people like that. I mix with people that have been in this world to change the world now, all right? We're not doing the old no more. We're not going to do the old. There's a separation of the wheat and the chaff. We've got to love the boobies. They're running in government. They are, mate. They're. They took it out of the schools with grammar to put the blinkers on us all so we didn't know the law. Well, the law stands for land, air and water. Mori, they die. Yes, ipsis mori, which is on your lovely national health letters now. Ipsis mori, they're using a bit of Latin there, means they die. That's at the top of his bold as brass. Now, a couple of years ago, there's a letter come through for the fictional character, right? Mr. Witcher. And it had NHS written on it. So I opened it up and it was from the local people round the corner. And I thought doctor wants to put his finger up my bum again. But luckily it wasn't that. And he said, you're running high blood pressure due to your recent tests. We need you to come in. We need to get you on this and that. I think there was some statins or something mentioned in that. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, doc. When did you take my blood pressure, brother? Because I've not been in for the last 5 years. And my missus went, That's a bit peculiar. She said, ring them up. I went, ring them up and do what? Speak with arrogant people that don't even listen. Yeah, because that's the point, right? We've now got service corporations that have shut up shop, that have all gone online, not accountable. Yeah, because we're living in the like the Wehrmacht now, or Stalin's Russia. You can't hold any one of these public officials. Years ago, we used to have to go to their buildings and have it out of them and say, "What are you playing at? Who get you out? Who let you out your box?" But no more. It's all over the phone. They put you on hold, and so you can't hold none of these corporations and courts and police accountable now, unless it costs you thousands, and you're using the legal system, and legal means the undoing of God's law. That's what legal means. So they've done this, ladies and gentlemen. But that's the way they've geared us up now. Cashless society. Yeah? No more cash. How does that ever stack up? How does cash ever spread the virus? You walk into Lidl's, Aldi's, Sainsbury's, Tesco's, Netto's, wherever you want to walk into. You touch the trolley, you touch the thingy, you touch the packet of bananas, you touch the strawberries, the raspberries, the bread, the chicken, you touch all of that stuff. You then take it out your thing, you put it on the counter, and then it goes along the conveyor belt, and the man sat behind a big spit screen, right, who's shitting himself, fuck it, I could get the virus today, who's sitting there, he handles it all, runs it through his scanner, beep, 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 and then at Lidl's, because they just throw it off the end, don't they? They can't wait to get you out. Get out, peasant, come on, get out, come on. Don't put it in your bag. Just chuck it in. Go and stand over there and pack all your shopping up. Come on, we're living in communism now. Fuck off. Go and get out of here. Right? So that man, he's handled all that stuff. He's come into contact with you, because if you think these little, like they've got a face visor now, it's like a halo around your head, and this visor, and it's all open underneath. You think that's going to stop a little virus, dear Jesus? You think that's £2 now? Someone was selling my finger. I went, you do realise that's not going to stop her? And they went, well, it might do. I said, well, your auntie might have bollocks, but she's not your uncle. Anyway, this man's handled all your stuff. It's all gone through. Boom, 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 boom. Handled the bags, and then he might have shook hands. And he said, no, can't take cash. Do what? What do you mean? You might have a virus on that bit of cash here. No, we're not touching cash no more. No, none of them notes or coins. No. It travels on them. Travel. Hang on, son. I've just been in this shop with 100 people, all brushing shoulders, walking past each other, trying to walk the right way. We get the wrong way. You've got to go out of the shop, come back in the shop. You're touching all their stuff where you don't know where it's come from. All the tin cans. There was a thing come out a few years ago on the tin cans. And you wipe it down, yeah. There was a thing in the newspapers years ago. You had to polish the top of it and give it a good wipe over because of all the rats on the boats and the ships as they come over into the country. And they was health warning: don't drink from cans unless you've cleaned the top. All right, don't drink from them because of rats and tuberculosis and all that. TB kills 1 million people a day around the world, worldwide. No one's moaning about that. No one's wearing a big mask about that. 30,000, 40,000 a year die of the common flu in this country through pneumonia. No one's whinging and moaning about that. We just get on with it. Granny died last week. We met, oh, bless her heart. When we burying her? What's for tea? You know what I mean? Don't say it nice, do we? All the crocodile tears at the graves now. Oh, miss her. Yeah, fuck. We've just become corporate slaves, people. It's dog eat dog out there now. You've got to get your cans of tuna out. Yeah? So that's what I'm saying. Their argument is cash. Well, no, that ain't right. How are you going to put £2 under your pillow now with a tooth fairy for your kid where the tooths come out? How's Nan and Grandad going to go around to little Johnny and say, oh, mate, you've been good this week. You played your mum and dad up. Oh, I've been really good, yeah. Because Santa's coming soon. Oh, right. Here's a £5. Go on, son. Nip round the sweet shop. Get your granddad a packet of Pearl Barleys and help yourself with whatever you want to do. Bring back the change, yeah? You can't do that no more. They're taking that all away from you. They're taking it away. Yeah. Now, my nan come round my house years ago after when my brother was born. He was born in hospital. And when he come home, I'm looking at him thinking, fucking, I'm not sure about this. I was only 4. I mean, nan come round. She went, here's 50p. I'm out, a little face lit up, innit? She went, share it with your brother. I went, no, what's this sharing stuff you're chatting about? I don't quite. Yeah. Share it? What's all that about? He's just, what's he need it for? Look at him, look. Can't even hold his own piss. Do you know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. They're taking that all away. You go cashless, you're right in trouble. You can't go down your kebab shop. You can't go round you can't get your window cleaner in. He's going to have to go cashless. My mate's missus years ago, he was a manager of a plum centre, Darren. His missus got up one morning, topless. She pulled back the curtains and the window cleaner's there going, morning, love. She just, woo. And he's there going, I imagine that happens to window cleaners all the time. I really do. Jesus Jones, yeah, we'll share it. So, bring back the change. You know what I'm saying? Yeah? As a 4-year-old kid, when your nan gives you 50 pence, when they say words like share, you can't, it just don't go in, does it? You're like, I'm not sharing nothing with that little, what are you chatting about? Because as you don't think like that, do you, when you're 4? You're pure. When the kids come into the world, they're pretty pure. It's only they get tormented and twisted by us lot as we get older. But if children were just allowed to grow up as they were and we didn't have all this capitalistic bollocks like go to school, learn this, have a fight, get punched up, lose all your decency, you know, get knocked about a bit, come home and cry to mum and dad. Oh, God bless all the parents that are homeschooling now and won't let their kids go back to school. Let me tell you, if you can do it, God bless you for it, because the schools are just indoctrination camps. The posh people, the rich people of this world get an education, whereas the commoners get an indoctrination. And that's the difference, all right? How do you think Boris Johnson knows what he knows and he's educated and he can do this and that? But is he really educated? To me, he's a fucktard. They're all fucktards. They want throwing in the Thames, metaphorically, with their money in their pockets. Because the amount of murders and rapes and pillages that they're responsible for, that government in this country, they can never be forgiven for their crimes against mankind. They're criminals. And the police up there in the pillboxes that stood outside Downing Street looked like Nazi stormtroopers. I want to go out there with a big IKEA mirror and hold it up against them. Say, hey, look at that, son. Do you remember the old Nazi films? Check yourself out. They got to write up with me the other month when I called one of them out. But they laugh and say, well, we know what these lot are up to in here. We know that they're all paedophile and we know that they're all dodgy as fuck. But they're paying our wages. So we're going to continue to stand here with our machine guns. And when a copper shoots someone, he's doing it for money. He's doing it for money. They don't do it for honour no more. They don't do it for respect. They don't do it to keep the peace. They don't do it for anything other than money. That's how Filthy Lucas got everybody. He was educating illegal. Well, I mean, he said on his first ever address to the nation, 6 minutes in, I mean, I almost pissed up straight. He said, we're a nation at the rule of law and habeas corpus. And I was like, whoa, the man's speaking my language, blood. Proper speaking my language. Now, constitutional law is a bit like what I'm all about. But remember, when you come back to the good book, you walk in grace. You don't walk in law. And grace is above law. And that's why this court messaged me back, emailed me, second email after I said I walk in grace. That's why they're now sending me, send your stuff over. Because they know that they can't deal with a man that walks in grace. They have to bow down. They have to. And that's what I've learned. It's a bit of a trickery-pokery kind of system, you know. What we did to Germany after the war was nasty and on its people. Yeah, it was. It was. Apparently, they're going to come put a microdot in a vaccine coming soon. Big Brother is here. Mikey Reynolds, my mate, lives just literally. How far away do you reckon you are, Mike? If I was to walk across it, mind you, I can't because there's a train line at the back of the fields here. You're about half a mile away, love, aren't you? He's a Peckham boy as well. A little bit older than me, but far better looking. And he's gorgeous. I love him to pieces. He's a real dude. Every time I go around, he's always got a cake for me and a cup of tea. It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. I'm just waiting for him to get his sink top. I'm going to go around and smack his sink top in for him. He's a lucky boy. He is. He's a lucky boy. So, look, that's the nuts and bolts of me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm someone that don't stand up for nonsense. I'm someone that deciphered the system. And I wanted to know why. Because it was only because I got fed up of being beaten up by it and put on the ropes. Yeah? Pay your taxes. Do this. Pay your road tax. Well, hang on. Who? You're making demands on my body that this body can't cash? What the fuck's going on? There must be some ulterior motive, and we got it. We fixed it out. We understood what it was. They own a birth certificate via an unlawful conversion. and a planned trespass. Yeah, that's what they did. They unlawfully converted us, and they're in constructive fraud, because everything that comes from that birth certificate is a fraud. Because when I come into the world and I was 5 days old, yeah, I couldn't choose whether I wanted to be part of this so-called society. No one asked me. No one got my God-given consent. It's all done within a fraud. And once a fraud is a fraud, that's it. Everything else from that is a fraud. And it is a constructive fraud. The whole system is a fucking fraud. So sad. So sad the way humanity's gone. But at least we figured it out. At least we're putting the information out there. And God bless the internet, and providing all this stays up, it's a ticking time bomb. It's a matter of time until everyone in this country kind of gets it. My mate Mikey Reynolds ran the corner. He gets this. He understands what goes on. And that's only been the last few years that he's really sort of started to see where this system. Now we can all sit back and do nothing, or we can take back our own dominion and our own rights. God give us dominion over the earth, ladies and gentlemen. We're not a constructive fraud. Where does a definition of the dictionary say constructive? It's a constructive fraud because it's a planned trespass. The only offence, a crime at common law that the system has played on us and can only ever play is trespass. When they nick your cars, nick your kids, take your homes off you, this, that, the other, shut your bank accounts down, come in and shit on your raspberries. It's trespass. That's the only crime there is. You got that lovely old one, just interested. Old what? Old Bible. Yeah, we're supposed to be living by God's law, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, we're supposed to be living by the 10 Commandments. We're supposed to be living by all that, but we've turned away from it. Now, the Jews, the people that run Israel, laugh at us. They call us goyim. They say, well, you turned away. You're happy to live the way you are in all this carnage and this mess and this murder and stuff. Dictionary. Oh, that old dictionary here. Constructive. Sorry, mate. I'm getting what you're saying there. So you want me to have a look in my old book of the word constructive. Let's have a quick butchers. Let me see if I can talk and look at the same time, because I'm not very good at multitasking. And most gentlemen ain't. We're not like the ladies. I mean, they can really go to town, can't they, when it comes to multitasking? COMN. Let's have a quick look. I opened it up, second page, and I'm almost there, man. Constructive. I've got my wrong glasses on here. Let's have a look. Compulsory. We're into the cons now. Let's have a look, see if we can find constructive. Let me have a quick butcher here. Thanks for staying tuned, by the way, today, ladies and gentlemen. And thanks for all that lovely video you did earlier. And mentioning me. I was like, he says, David just seems really genuine. And it brought a little tear to my eye, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you. You know, and this is the beauty of this thing that we've got given. We're all starting to communicate again. We're all starting to come together, and it's amazing. It really is. Construct. You would ask me, constructive. That constructive is an adjective that constitutes or establishes essential, having power to enact. Okay, so that's what constructive is. So it is a constructive fraud, isn't it? Because they think that they have the power to enact. Okay, the Bible's written by the church. If it was not true, where would the Gospel of Judas and Mary? Yeah, I agree. It is. Look, it is what it is, right? When you stand as a man and you stand in the spirit and you stand in truth, the truth prevails. They have to back down. They know that they're operating in a fraud, and they always knew that we'd all figure it out at some point. So that's the nuts and bolts of me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm someone that got to a point where the system was really pushing at me, because I've always worked for myself and worked my own hands, and they see me as an easy target, but they don't go after all these big Costa Coffees today and all these other ones that are swindling us all out. of our inheritances. They're not interested in that. But the government seems to love to pick on individuals that don't know what's proper. Well, they picked on the wrong one, because as I walked out of this building years ago, after they'd bent me over and didn't use any form of lubrication, these two women were looking at me like I was a piece of shit. And I'm like, excuse me, love. I said, behave yourself. I said, you know something? I'm going to figure out how you've done this today. I said, when I do, I'm going to tell the fucking world you lot are in trouble. So that's my mission statement, really, is to, in a nice way, bring about a positive change for this world, right? Because everything comes down to your energy, where you place it. If you stop providing these service corporations with your energy and everything that goes with it, it'll soon change. If you decide that I'm not going to shop there because they're doing this, they'll soon change. Because you've got to understand how powerful you all are. You're the sovereign people of this country. Why the fuck are you going down this garden path that they're taking you all down? And no one questions it. No one challenges it. No one's doing much about it. And let me tell you guys, I don't think the future's so bright for everybody right now. And I think it's time now for us all to come together, right? I'm someone that preaches the good stuff. I'm not going to talk about hate. I'm not going to get into a negative vibration. If there's people out there that truly believe that they're the King of England, it's not for me to piss on their cornflakes. But I won't pay no attention. I'm just not going to. And I don't care who Greg Allett is, and I don't care what information he's got or how learned he is or how versed he is. It's all bollocks as far as I'm concerned, because who the fuck wants another king or queen? This one's got it so badly wrong anyway. Elizabeth and all her family. I mean, Andrew, Jesus, Jeffrey Epstein, the pictures of Epstein and all that lot, all out in Buckingham Palace. Ghislaine Maxwell sat on the throne. And I'm not talking about the Kazi either. Sat on the throne in Buckingham Palace whilst they're having a party and a soiree. Imagine what goes on behind them closed fucking walls. Now, when they've boarded it all up, Jesus. So I'm someone that can't deal in all that evil, wicked stuff. And I'm going to shine the light on the world, and I'm going to continue to do it all the time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm off. I'm back on at 9 o'clock. I'm on wakeupuk.net. If any of you want to come and join, we've got Anne-Marie Walters now. She's got a slot on a Wednesday night. And there wasn't a pun intended there. A big shout out to my man there for the greater good. If you don't know his channel, let me get his channel up and I'll show you a quick picture. He's handsome. He's better looking than me. I don't know if you can see that. Go and check him out. He's a dude. Where are we going? Can you see that? His channel's called oh, look out. There you go. For the greater good. All right. And he's given me a bit of a shout out this morning, so I'm going to return the compliment. Not as though there's any sort of like sexy times in it or nothing like that. Namaste. I respect the spirit in you, and you respect the spirit in me, and that's what we've got to do. Auntie Mandy, I don't think this king will repress us, but I do think he's part of the path to peace. Maybe. We'll see. He can be king of his own dominion. I'm king of my own dominion. I don't need another king, man. So, yeah, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be on Wake Up UK tonight. Anne-Marie Walters now got a slot. We're getting in some really decent guests on there now as well. Why they've got me on there, Lord only knows. But if you want to come and join in the chat tonight, all you have to do is go to the wakeupuk.net. You'll see my profile picture on my show. Click that link. That will take you into Zoom, and you can pop in and have a chat. And we have a bit of fun on there for about an hour and a quarter, hour and 20 minutes. Look, I don't care what goes on, how dark things get. Always stand the light. Always stand in truth. Always stand up for yourself and say, I'm not your property. I belong to the Almighty. What are you doing? Why are you trespassing on me? Watch the results you get. That's all I'm saying. People, I love you all. I'll see you all a bit later. Let's get back and do some work.